All right, everybody. We are ready for some baseball. NBC Game of the Week, 1975 style. This game was played August the 9th from the Vet in Philadelphia. And the reason why we're choosing this game, because Philadelphia is tied for the lead in the NL East with the Pirates. And the Giants are surprisingly 67 and 46, only 8 games behind the powerful Cincinnati Reds. So, good chance to show two good teams in this ball game. And also a pretty good pitching matchup, I would say. The Count, John Montefusco, was on the mound for the Giants, and lefty Steve Carlton is on the mound for the Phillies. So yet another reason to show this ball game on this particular Saturday. One of the best matchups I could find. So that's what we're going with. And we'll check and make sure everything is in place the way I would like it. Looks like everything is showing up fairly well. Actually, I could probably get a little closer. Well, all right, Brian B., I'd be interested to see how your stats turned out. See if they're fairly close to what I did on mine. I don't know, but each game, of course, is different, so anything is liable to, to happen. So let's get everything a little bit closer, and hopefully things will be as they need to be. Hopefully I got enough light on the subject. I think I do. Let's check the... Yeah, I've got the best I can do. So, I think we're set up the way I need to be set up. Hello, Joel. How are you doing? We have the Phillies and the Giants. And just as a refresher, like I said, the Giants are 8 games back of the Reds at 67 and 46. Philadelphia is in a virtual tie with Pittsburgh at 65 and 48 in their NL East race. Next Saturday, we will be in Chicago for the Chicago White Sox. As the White Sox, let's go to their, let me get their, who they're going to be playing next week. It'll be in Chicago at Comiskey Park against the Boston Red Sox. So we have the Battle of the Sox next week, red versus white. And it will be the Red Sox and the White Sox doing battle next Saturday on the NBC Game of the Week. But, of course, this Saturday we're in Philadelphia for the National League contest between the Giants and the Philadelphia Phillies. It is a National League game, so despite RJL's protest, there will be probably some double switches going on, depending on how the game rolls. Got the dice for the Phillies. I know it has their cards have the little blue here, but that's when they're on the road. When they're at home, they're strictly red and white. So that's what we're going with, is the red and white dice. Scorebook is here off to the side. You can barely see it. Don't really need to see it that much. So I'm going to keep everything pretty much where it is. I think everything fits fairly well. So we'll go with it. All right, so Steve Carlton will finish up those warm-up tosses, and we'll be facing Von Joshua. And again, I used to use that big board that RJL uses, but the more I use this little setup here, the better I like it. Gives me a little more room. Everything's not as stretched out. He doesn't do the lineup board, so he can afford to use that extra room. But it's kind of hard for me to do it that way, so decided to do it that way. Hey, Doug, how you doing? It's always interesting to get a no-hitter. I've only had one. Hello, Jimmy. How you doing? I've only had one no-hitter in my tabletop experience, and that was actually on History Maker Baseball 1967, and it was recorded live on video. Of course, the quality wasn't very good because back then I didn't really know what I was doing, and so the quality may not be quite as good, but it was the Cubs and the Giants, I believe, from 1967, and Ferguson Jenkins tossed that no-hitter. All right, so we're ready to go. Von Joshua against Steve Carlton. And there you see the starters, the benches, and the bullpens. Carlton, 6'6", is a strikeout plus to a lefty, so Von Joshua will take a seat early as lefty gets the strikeout on Joshua. That'll bring up Darryl Thomas, the second baseman, a switch hitter. 2-2, and that's a strikeout chance again, but 17 is too much. Even though Veterans Stadium adds 3, it's still not enough. And Thomas 4-2, that is a split. I'm sorry, I was looking at 2-2. 4-2 is a fly to center, so easy play out there for Gary Maddox. 2 up and 2 down for Bobby Mercer, former Yankee. And we'll go to the Yankees later on. And 79, always with the Yankees. So Carlton 6-2, possible error. Go to Mercer 4-4. That's a ground ball to first. The error chance 15 on Dick Allen. Dick Allen's error rating at first base is, or just happens to be, a 14. So the 15 narrowly misses that. Allen will make the play and flip to Carlton to end the inning 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left for the Giants. We go to the bottom of the first. It is San Francisco nothing, and the Phillies coming to bat. And the count, John Montefusco, Rookie of the Year in 1975. He will be on the mound, getting those warm-up tosses. Jimmy Jam, the dice tower I got off Amazon. I don't know if they still sell them or not, but I got it off of Amazon. Just look under there under wooden dice towers. Then if they still have it on sale, it'll be there. I paid $65 for this. It was a one-time purchase, which I mean, $65 is a lot to me, but it's going to last me a lifetime. So to me, that one-time purchase was not a bad deal. Could have gone cheap, but I decided for the one time in my life not to be frugal, and it was a nice acquisition. I enjoy it. I wish I had some more padding around here so the dice wouldn't make so much noise, but can't have everything. It is nice felted here. Of course, I got cat fur in here that probably need to clean out from Tabby being up here, but what are you going to do? All right, here's Montefusco to Dave Cash. 2-3 is a blank. Go to Cash. 5-5 is a single to right field. So Dave Cash, a leadoff single for Dave Cash. He greets Montefusco with a base hit. Cash's attempt is a 2, plus the 1 from Montefusco makes him a 3. But nothing going on. Cash will stay put. Boa could bunt. He did get the bunts with that 19. He does have a bunt indicator, and he's got 5, which is the best bunt rating you can have. But he is a 305 hitter, and you hate to bunt so early. But you know what? They're going to bunt. They got the bunt sign, so we're going to bunt. How about that? Hello, Mr. Robert. Good to see you here. We're going to bunt. Since we got the 19 on the D20, that tells us with a 5 for Boa, he can bunt. So first things first, we're going to have a pitch from Montefusco to make sure there's no strikeouts or whatever. So Montefusco 6-2. That's a possible wild pitch. That's a 13, but it does miss. So it's ball 1, and we'll try it again. 1-1 is a strikeout chance. That's a 5. But remember, when you're bunting, strikeouts get reduced by half. So against a righty, that would be 2.5, which would drop down to 2. Plus 3 there is a 5. That's still going to be a strikeout, I believe. Let me double check that. I think I was wrong on that. Looks like I was wrong again. So let's check this strikeout on the bunts. When you bunt, batter strikeout is reduced. Let's see. Where we go here for the bunting. Cut in half and you round down. That's what I did. So his strikeout here is a 5. Now see, it depends on how you do this. Now RJL, I may need your assistance on this one because I'm not sure whether you do the rounding down first from the ballpark or whether you round down on the batter rating and then add the ballpark. It's going to make a difference in the strikeout. Because if we round down here early, we get to 2.5 or a 2, and then you add the 3, it becomes a total of 5, and we get the strikeout. If we take the 8, or take the 5 and the 3, make it an 8, and then round down, we get a 4, and it's not a strikeout. So in the ball, let's see, add the ballpark and then round down. Okay, that's what I'm doing. All right. So we take the 5 and the 3, we get an 8, But we round it in half, makes it a 4, so that means it's not going to be a strikeout. The 5 is going to mean it's not going to be a strikeout since we were doing the halfway. Oh, sorry to hear about the COVID thing there, Robert. Hope you're resting and taking proper precautions. All right, so there was no strikeout, so that means Boa does get the bunt. So we're going to roll on the D6 to see who fields it, and then the D20 will tell us what's going on. He's a 5 bunter. It's going to be a 4 because the corners are in. So we'll see what happens. We get a 5, and that's a good bunt. No matter what the rating is, that's a good bunt. And the white dot third baseman fields it. So it's going to be a 5-4 sacrifice, and that will send Dave Cash to second base. So sacrifice hit 5-4 as Miller throws to Thomas covering first. And Cash has moved into scoring position, and that brings up Gary Maddox. And, of course, interesting thing, now Tabby's whining. Interesting thing is that in this, Gary Maddox was traded mid-season for Willie Montañez of the Giants. So good trade for both teams as it turns out. Both teams, came away feeling pretty good about the trade, but just ironic that that's who we have. Yeah, Tabby's on the floor over there on one of my boxes. Actually, she's sitting on the inside pitch box, which is interesting. But as long as she stays there and doesn't try to, her perch, I've got the computer on her perch, so she can't get on the perch to get up here. So that's gonna probably tick her off even more. Who knows? But we're trying to keep her away from here so we can get the game in. All right, Montefusco, strategy roll. Nothing happening. Go to Gary Maddox. Montefusco to Maddox. 2-1's a strikeout plus, and he got him. That's 2 down. So big strikeout there keeps Cash at second base. With 2 outs for the Bull, Greg Luzinski. Nothing on the Havoc. Montefusco to Luzinski. 1-1's a strikeout. 19. He only strikes out at a 13. Plus 3 is a 16, but that fails. So Luzinski will swing it. 1-4. He's going to double to center field. So how about that? Greg Luzinski fought off the strikeout and doubles into center field. Cash will score easily, and the Phillies lead it 1-0. That 1-4 roll is the D8 there, so double to center. And Luzinski, RBI double. That'll bring up Dick Allen. Many say he should be in the Hall, and I can't disagree with them. Not sure why he's not there with some of the other guys that they've let in over the years, but that's a different discussion for a different day, I guess. 2, nothing's happening. Wheels Luzinski's not going anywhere. Montefusco, 4-5, and that is a walk chance. 19 is going to be too high. He's a 16 plus the 1 is a 17, but that fails. So Dick Allen will swing it. 6-3, it's a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. But for the Phillies, they get a run. They do it on 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. We played 1 at the Vet, and it is Philadelphia 1 and San Francisco nothing. And in case anybody came in late, next Saturday's game is going to be a battle of the Sox. The Red Sox are at the White Sox from Comiskey. That'll be next week. Hello, Salvador. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Tabby, no, don't you think she's thinking about jumping up on the table from the floor? You better not do that, Tabby, because that's going to wreck my bullpen and my benches and probably knock over my dice tower. So we don't want you doing that, Tabby. No, we don't want you doing that. No, don't even think about it. Too bad I can't move my phone over. She's just staring a hole right through me. Like I can go where I want to go and you shut up. So no, Tabby, you stay down there. All right, here's Gary Matthews, the Sarge. 3-3 is a blank to a right-hander. Walk plus to a lefty, but blank to a righty. Matthews, 3-3 again. Ground ball to short, and Boa takes care of it. 1 down, and that brings up Willie Montañez, first baseman. Had over 100 runs batted in 1975. Lefty-lefty matchup. 6-3 is a strikeout chance. 18 too much. We'll go to Montañez. 4-2, and that is a ground ball to first. Dick Allen will take it to the bag himself. 2 up and 2 down. And that brings up a guy I never really heard of much, Bruce Miller, third baseman. Don't know much about him. I'm doing well, Salvador. Okay, thank you for clarifying that, Robert. We do need to add the park adjustments for that. Hello, Chuck. How are you doing? All right, Carlton to Miller. 1-6 is a blank. And that brings up Bruce Miller. 5-4, and he's going to hit a star 6, which is a fly to right. Johnstone puts it away. It's another 1-2-3 inning for lefty. We go to the bottom of the second from the vet. It's still 1-0 favor of the Phillies. Giants did finish in third in 1975 behind the Reds and Dodgers. They had a pretty good record. And especially with Montefusco on the mound, they're a tough ball club. So here's Jay Johnstone. And I won't mention the fact he had 350 at-bats, but he's got a cookie-cutter card. I just won't mention that. So not to upset anybody, I won't mention it. All right, here's Montefusco. 1-1, strikeout chance, got him. Cookie-cutter or not, he's gone. And that brings up Schmitty. Remember, this is early Mike Schmidt, so he's batting 7th in the lineup. Montefusco, 5-5. That's a pitcher result. 1-13 is an out. That's a 15, though, so Schmidt will swing it. 6-3, it's a star 2. He's still going to make an out and will fly to center. So he flies out to Von Joshua for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down, and that brings up the personal catcher for Steve Carlton, Tim McCarver. 5-5, another pitch result. 1-11 is a single. That's a 15, though, so it stays a blank. Carver will have to earn it. 4-1, he does not. He grounds to short. And Craig Robinson, the shortstop, is there to handle it. 3 up and 3 down go the Phillies here in the bottom of the second. So after 2 complete from the vet, it is Philadelphia 1 and the Giants 0. Carlton is back out. Hello, Mr. Sports Time Machine. Utah Mike, how are you doing, sir? Hope everything's well out there in Utah land. All right, so Mike Sadek, I think it's pronounced Sadek. Sadek or I always called him Sadek. It could be Sadek, but I've always called him Sadek. So here's Carlton. 1-4. That's a range play. First range play of the game. And we go to Sadek's card for that. 1-4. It's a question mark 8. We resolve that first, then do the range. Question mark 8. A 5 is a single to center field. But it's a range play, and Gary Maddox is a 5. So this has to be a 6. All right, Joel, thank you. Sadek, that's what I thought. If this is a 6, it'll drop. Anything 1-5, and Maddox runs it down. And Maddox runs it down, takes the hit away from Sadek to lead off the top of the third. Here comes Craig Robinson. He came over in the trade with Atlanta. Not much. He's a great fielder, not much of a hitter, but he's a 5 range at shortstop, but obviously not much of a hitter. 2-1 is a blank, so we go to Robinson's card. 5-6, he's going to ground it to second. That's cash all over it. 2 down. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Montefusco. He's a 088 hitter with 1 home run on the season. Now Tabby's at my feet making noises. So hopefully, hello Woodman, how are you doing? Hopefully she's not a disturbance. 1-6 is a blank. We go to Montefusco. 2-2, that's a star 4, which is a ground ball to cash again. And the inning's over. 3 up and 3 down go the Giants here in the top of the third. We go to the bottom of the third, still 1-0 Phillies. Greg Luzinski double in the first with 2 outs is the only run in the game. Scored Dave Cash. So now Steve Carlton will lead it off. Carlton, a pretty decent hitter at 156, not bad. Not an automatic out by any means. Looks like Tabby wants to go out of the room, so I'm going to, in an effort to keep it from being a feline delay later on, I'm taking a small delay now to let Tabby out. All right, Tappy is left, so now there's no way there's any feline delays, so we can roll on. All right, Montefusco to Carlton. 2-4, and that's a strikeout chance, and he got him. So Carlton is out on strikes. One down. And that'll bring up Dave Cash. Jake Brown is on the bench. Yes, I've got him right here. He's on the bench. He is available for this game if I need him. He is there. Yes. Montefusco, 2-1, strikeout plus to Cash, and he got him. So back-to-back strikeouts to start the third for Montefusco. That is strikeout number 4. And that'll bring up Larry Boa. Had to sacrifice bunt his first time. 4-2, and that is a range play. So we're going to Boa for the range. 2-1, question mark 9, up to a 14. That's an 18, though, but it's a range play on a fly to right field. Right fielder is Mercer. And Bobby Mercer will check his range. Bobby Mercer, below average, is a 2 range. So 1-2, he makes the catch. Anything else, it'll drop. And it's going to drop. Is it a single or a double? It's a single for Larry Boa. So Boa gets a 2-out single. Oh, let's use a better looking one than that. Boa gets a 2-out single. And he could be looking to run. He does have an attempt of 3. +1 from Montefusco gives him a 4. And that is a 4. So Boa's going to run 16. +1 from Montefusco is a 17. And then the catcher, Sadek, is a +2, makes it a 19. So anything other than a 20, he is safe. Oh, wait a minute. Rolled the wrong dice. My bad. And he's in there. So the +2 from Sadek made the difference. And Larry Boa will steal second base. So he's in scoring position, and it was a 2-out single in the first inning that produced a run. Let's see if Maddox can do the same. Strategy from Montefusco, nothing happening. Montefusco to Maddox, 3-6. That's a range play again. Go to Maddox. 6-3. It's a ground ball to short. We're checking the range of Craig Robinson, and like I said, he's not much of a hitter, but he has a 5 range at shortstop. So anything other than a 6, he'll take the hit away. And he does. So it saves him a run. That would have probably scored the run had he not made that play. But Robinson was up to the task. And for the Phillies, no runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. We've played 3 at the Vet. It's still 1-0 Phillies here on the 1975 NBC Game of the Week. And we expected a good pitching matchup, and that's what we're getting. With the Rookie of the Year Montefusco and the venerable Steve Carlton. All right, here is Carlton to Joshua, 1-4, another range play. Joshua, 6-5, that's a single to short, but it's a range check for Larry Boa. And Larry Boa is only a 2 for his range. I thought he had better range than that, but maybe in 75 he didn't. 1-2, he makes the play. Anything else, it's a base hit. And Boa makes the play. Nice play there by Boa. Keeps Joshua off the bases. 1 down. Brings up Darryl Thomas. 3-1's a walk chance. And he will walk him. First base runner for the Giants on the ball game. And it's a walk to Darryl Thomas. And let's see. Thomas has an attempt of 5. Minus the 1 is a 4. Nothing happening. So Thomas will stay put. And Bobby Mercer, the batter. Carlton. Infield double play depth. 5-6. That is a blank. It would have been a home run chance for a righty. But for a lefty, that's a blank. So we go to Mercer. 6-1, that's a star 3, which is a fly to center field. Gary Maddox hauls it in, 2 down. Going back to first is Thomas. And that'll bring up the Sarge, Gary Matthews. Nothing on the strategy roll. Carlton to Matthews. 5-2, that's another range play. Getting a lot of range plays. Matthews, 6-6, that's a Fly out to left field, but we're checking the range of Luzinski. Luzinski's range is a 3. So 1 to 3, and Wheels Luzinski will make the play. 4 or higher, it drops in. And it's going to drop in. That's the first hit of the game. Is it a single or a double? It is a single to left field for Gary Matthews, as Luzinski was unable to get to it. Question is, can Thomas make it to third base? Thomas runs at a 4. There are 2 outs, makes him a 5. Single to left is a -1 from first to third, so that makes it a 4. 1 to 4, he'll make third base. And he does. So runners are now at the corners, and the no-hitter has been dissipated thanks to the lack of range by Greg Luzinski. Runners are at the corners for Willie Montañez, and he did drive in over 100 runs, so he's the RBI man you want right now. Nothing on the strategy. Carlton to Montefusco. 4-2, and that's a blank to a lefty, so we go to Montañez. 3-6, that's a star 1. It's a ground ball to Schmidt, and he will just fire to first to end the inning. So no runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 left by the Giants. No hitter is gone, shutout still intact. It is still 1-0 Phillies as we go to the bottom of the 4th here at the Vet. Giants leave their first 2 base runners on. So Montefusco will be facing Mr. Wheels Luzinski. And Luzinski had the RBI double his first time up. One, 2 is a walk plus, so Luzinski will draw the walk to start off the inning. He does have an attempt of 2. 1 plus the 1 there. 20, chance for a balk or a pickoff. 1 to 2 is a balk, 3 is a pickoff. That's a 12, so Luzinski does get back. So Luzinski will stand pat, and here is Dick Allen in field halfway. Montefusco 3-2, that's a strikeout chance, and he got him. So Dick Allen, swing and a miss, 1 away. For Jay Johnstone. Strategy roll again, see if Luzinski can get a jump. He does not. So Montefusco. 6-5, that's a possible error. Go to Johnstone. 6-3, it's a single to right field. That's a 5. It is an odd number. It is the right fielder Mercer. What is his error rating? His error rating is a 4. So there will not be an error. Mercer does not make an error, but it is a base hit. Question is, can Wheels Luzinski get to third base on the single to right? Single to right with the Giant outfielders and Bobby Mercer, it's a 2. So we're going to add 2 to Luzinski's run rating. Luzinski runs at a 2, so it's a 1 to 4, and Luzinski will make it. And he does. So how about that? Wheels Luzinski makes it into third base chugging. Slides in hard. And the tag from Miller not in time. And runners are at the corners with 1 out for Mike Schmidt. And now let's see, Johnstone is attempt of 3. 2 plus the 1 from Montefusco. So 1 to 3 is a steal attempt. Nothing happening though. Infield back for the double play, trying to turn 2. Montefusco. 4-6, that's a possible error on a ground ball. Schmidt. 4-5, and that is a single past third base. Single past third base. Miller's error rating at third is a 10. So it looks like to me that's a failed error because it's not a fly out. It's a single pass third, and it's an error on a grounder. So not sure it makes sense though, because if it's a single, it's not an error. Okay, thank you. Not an error because it's an S5, so it's not. Oh, that's right. Never mind. My bad. Never mind. I forgot about the new rule. So we're going to roll to the run rating of the batter, Schmidt. So the run's going to score regardless, and the runner here is going to get to second regardless. So we know that much. The run's going to score, and the runner on first is going to make second. Question is Schmidt in or out or safe? 1 to 3, he's safe. 4 or higher, he's out. He's safe, so Schmidt beats it out. Infield hit for Mike Schmidt. Infield hit for Schmitty, and the Phillies take a 2-0 lead. So hopefully now I did that correctly. All runners advance just the one base. So McCarver will come back out with runners at first and second and one out. Montefusco, nothing on the Havoc. Montefusco, 3-3 is a strikeout chance. 10 will get him. He's an 8 plus the 3 from the stadium is an 11. So strikeout there by McCarver for out number 2. And that brings up Carlton. So Montefusco has a chance to get out of this. First and second, 2 down, but he's got a chance to get out of it by getting Carlton. Nothing on the strategy. Montefusco, 5-6 is a blank. We go to Carlton's card. 2-2, and that's a ground ball to third. Miller has it, and with the final out, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to say he throws to first base. I'm sorry, he's going to throw to second base to get the force at second on Schmidt. So it's going to go 5-4 on the force play. Phillies get a run. They do it on 2 hits. No errors and 2 left. So at the end of 4 complete from the vet, it's 2-0 Phillies. Credit Mike Schmidt with an RBI single in the inning to give them that 2-0 lead. And Montefusco, 15-9 with a 2.88 ERA, but I was reading up, he lost several games where he went 9 shutout innings and got a no decision and a loss. So he suffered from some lack of run support throughout the season. So he deserved better fate in a lot of his games. All right, so Bruce Miller will lead it off against Carlton. 3-6, that's the ballpark. First time we're going to Veterans Stadium on the day. Ballpark, check. 6-4, that's a star 3, which is a fly to center, and Gary Maddox easily makes the play, 1 down. For Mike Sadek, the catcher. Carlton, 2-4, that's a strikeout chance, and he got him. So Carlton puts the K on Sadek. 2 down for Craig Robinson. Carlton, 2-6, we're going to the ballpark card again. To Veterans Stadium. 4-2, that's a home run to the pull side, but of course he's got 0. So it's simply going to be a fly to the left, and that's going to end the inning. Oh, and now Tabby has re-entered the room. So let me get this straight real quick. I had the door shut and she forced the door open, believe it or not. So 3 up and 3 down go the Giants here in the top of the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 2-0 Phillies. And before I even start, let's get this out of the way. Come on. Hopefully if we do this once, it'll appease her and we'll be done with it. So, there you go. Now you get some camera time. But nobody wants to see your backside, so. Nobody wants to see your backside, Tabby. Now you're knocking over all my stuff, aren't you? All right, are you done now? Can I play now? Am I allowed to play now? Or are you going to have a squat, or are you squatting in? Are you going to squat in, or are you going to give me a chance to play now? RJL, I have to ask Tabby's permission to give me a chance to play. So, Tabby, can I play now? All right, come on, Tabby. No, you don't need to be sitting there. Let's move you. Come on. All right. All right. All right. The delay is over. Let's get back to serious business, which is the ball game. Okay. Hopefully that will appease her, and now she won't. Hopefully she won't just think about coming up here anymore. She got her time up here, and now we can move on and get the game going with no interruptions. Hopefully. All right, so Dave Cash. Montefusco to Cash, 2-5 strikeout plus, got him. So Cash is out of there. And Boa steps to the plate. Boa singled and stole a base his last time up. 5-2. It's a home run question mark against a switch hitter. It's a 1-19. That passes. Boa, though, needs a 1 to hit a home run. And he does not get it, but he does get to swing. 5-1. He's got a single to center field. So Larry Boa doesn't homer, but he does single. He's now 2 for 2. He did steal a base last time. He's looking to run again. So, again, the jump is a 4 or less. And he gets the jump. So, it's a 1-19. And he's in there safely. So, Boa, his second steal of the game. And he's in scoring position once again for Gary Maddox with 1 out. Nothing happening on the strategy roll. Montefusco, 6-3 is a walk chance. 10, he will walk him because he walks at a 10 plus 1 from the stadium. So Maddox will draw the base on balls. And that puts 2 on with 1 out for Wheels Luzinski. And this is where Giants could get in trouble because Luzinski is dangerous. He's doubled and walked already. They are looking for the double play if they can get one. Nothing on the strategy. Montefusco to Luzinski. 2-4, strikeout chance, 12, got him. So big strikeout there to strike out Luzinski for out number 2. Not out of the woods yet, though, because you got Dick Allen coming up. And Dick Allen is dangerous. Montefusco a 2, nothing happening. 2-6, that's the ballpark card going back to Veterans Stadium. 4-2, and that's a home run to the pull side. He's a 9, that's a 5. And how do you say it, RJL? Kaboom! A 3-run shot for Dick Allen. Says, take that, non-Hall of Fame. A 3-run homer off the count. And the count might be out for the count. I think he's blaming the ineffectiveness on the delay he had to suffer from Tabby. But it's a 3-run bomb from Dick Allen off the Veterans Stadium card. And it is now 5-0 Phillies. They're going to try to get Montefusco through the inning to get this last out. 1-5 is a blank. We go to John Stone. 2-2, he's going to double. So, boy, not out of the woodwork yet. That's a double. And now they may have to look to go to the bullpen here because Mike Schmidt's coming up. Montefusco does lead off the next inning. So they would like to get him through the inning if possible. In fact, they're going to walk Schmidt intentionally. They're not going to mess around with Schmidt at all. They will take their chances with McCarver, but they didn't want to deal with Schmidt whatsoever. So they give the intentional pass to Schmidt. McCarver is 0 for 2 with a strikeout, so they're going to take their chances here. Montefusco can face 29 batters. This is batter 26, so he's still okay. Nothing on the habit. Montefusco, 4-3, and we're back to the ballpark card again. So back to Veterans Stadium. 1-2, it's a ground ball to third to Miller, and he just steps on the bag to end the inning. Not that it matters. It's the final out. That's all that counts. 3 runs. They do it on 3 hits. No errors and 2 left. So now we've completed 5 here at the Vet, and it is 5-0 Phillies. And the count might be out for the count because he is set to lead off this inning. So that's going to do it for Mr. Montefusco. His day is done. They will go to the bullpen and to the bench. So let's figure out the numbers on Montefusco. He's going to go 5 innings. He's given up a total of 8 hits, 5 runs, all earned. And let's check his walks and strikeouts. He walked 3. 1 was intentional. And he struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got him for 8 strikeouts. So unofficially, I have Montefusco 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. And of course, they'll get a new pitcher in the bottom half of the 6th. Top half of the 6th, we need a pinch hitter for the Giants. No, Brian, no, not one split because he did not have enough at bats against lefties. So I said I wasn't going to mention the 350 at bats with the cookie cutter card, so I said I wouldn't do that. So, all right, let's look and see who the Giants might use off the bench. They have Carlton's out there, so you're thinking they're going to have a right-hander or a switch. They do have Jake Brown. He's not very good. Mark Hill's not very good. They're going to go to Steve Ontiveros. He is a switch hitter. Switch hitter. He does better against righties, but they're still going to use him anyway. Ontiveros plays third base. But he's in there now to pinch hit for Mr. Montefusco. And in the bullpen for the Phillies, for the Giants rather. Let's see, the Phillies are going to have Carlton, Cash, and Boa. Mostly right-handers after that. So it looks like, boy, who do they want to go? They're going to go to Charlie Williams out of the bullpen. So Charlie Williams will be the new pitcher for the Giants in the bottom half of the inning. But right now it is Mr. Carlton to Ontiveros, 5-4, and against a switch hitter batting right-handed, that's a blank. Had he been facing a lefty, that would have been a strikeout plus. But Ontiveros will swing it 1-5. He grounds it to Cash. So Ontiveros is out of there. So Ontiveros fails in the pinch. One out, top of the order for Von Joshua. Carlton, 3-6 ballpark card, going back to the vet again. 4-5, and that is a question mark 9. And that's an 18. The home run only goes to 17. Boy, that would have been a chance for a home run there, but 18 here and only goes to 17 here, so it's just going to be a deep fly to right field by Joshua, but put away out there by Johnstone. 2 away. Just missed it. Absolutely, Brian B. If a lefty reliever comes in, Johnstone will be lifted. Plus, he's not very good in the field either, so probably want a better defender on top of that. Here's Carlton, 6-1, walk plus, and he will walk Darryl Thomas. So 2-out walk to Darryl Thomas. And down 5-0. Strategy rolls are actually off. So not going to worry about trying to steal or anything like that because you're down 5-0. And we're in the 6th inning. So here comes Bobby Mercer. Carlton to Mercer. 3-1's another walk chance, but that is, and it will be a walk. That was an 18. He walks at a 17 plus 1. So that will actually be a walk. I didn't think it would be, but it was. Mercer does walk a lot. So first and second, back-to-back walks with 2 outs. And that'll bring up the cleanup man, Matthews, and one swing of the bat, and the Giants are right back in this ball game. Carlton, 5-5. That's a walk chance again, and he will walk the bases loaded. Carlton, after getting the first 2 outs, has walked the bases loaded. And that'll bring up Willie Montañez. It will be a lefty on lefty, but Montañez, like I said, had over 100 RBIs, so this is the kind of spot he would flourish in. But Carlton's got to find the plate. 3-5, and that is another walk chance. That's an 11, but this time it will not walk him. So he's still very erratic. Here's Montañez. 3-1 is a single pass center, and that'll get the Giants on the board. Scoring is Thomas. Maddox does have a -2 arm, so on a single to center, you don't get anything added to your run rating. Runner on second is Mercer. He runs at a 3 with 2 outs. It becomes a 4. So 1-4, and he'll score from second base. He does not, so that means could be trouble. Could be trouble. And with a -2 outfield arm, 1-5 takes us to the third die roll. Only a 6 means he holds. So we're going to the third die roll, and that means on a 2-5, he's going to be out. It's a 1, though. Lead runner advances, and the ball caught off. Trailing runner is thrown out. So the run does score from second, but the trailing runner is cut off or the ball is cut off and he's out at third base trying to go to third. So Matthews is out trying to go to third. We're going to call it 8-4-5. Mercer does score, though, so his run does count across the plate. So 2 runs come in for the Giants. That brings it back to a 5-2 score. And now the Giants will need a new pitcher, and of course that is going to be Charlie Williams. Now, cover your eyes, RJL, because you will not like what happens next. Since Montanez made the last out, and the pitcher spot's going to be coming up 4th, we want Charlie Williams to pitch more than 1 inning. So we're going to make the infamous double switch. And the question is, who do we bring in and who do we take out? Well, I'm not going to take Montanez out. He's too good of a player. Let's see. Who do they want to take out here? Well, you hate to take anybody out, actually. Gary Matthews is pretty good, too. Maybe I won't make the double switch because there's just some good hitters here. So you know what? Charlie Williams is actually not going to come in. We're going to not have the double switch. That's been revoked. And we're going to Dave Heverlo. Heverlo or Heverlo, however you want to pronounce it. He's just going to pitch the 1 inning, and that's going to be it. So no double switch because really we don't want to lose the guys that are in the lineup. So we're going to have a standard pitching change. And that's going to be Heverlo or Heverlo. So it will not be Williams as I had originally thought. It will be Mr. Heverlo or Heverlo. I always called him Heverlo, but it could be Heverlo. I have no idea. Carlton is your leadoff batter. And let's see, Carlton can face 29 batters. So far, he has faced 23, so he's still good to go. And with a 5-2 lead, they're going to let him hit. Heverlo, 5-1, not tired, so Carlton will swing away. 1-6, he's going to fly to left, 1 away. And I may call him Heverlo and Heverlo in different at-bats, just because I'm not sure which pronunciation to use. When I see the H-E there, it looks like heavy, like it would be heavy if you take the rest of the name out of there and just had the H-E-A-V. But then, you could heave something down the, heave a ball down the street or whatever, and so it could go either way. I'll go with Heverlo. I don't know. It doesn't matter at this point. 4-1's a blank. So we go to Cash. 2-6, star 1's a ground ball to second. And easy play for Darryl Thomas. 2 up and 2 down, and that'll bring up Larry Bowa. Of course, there's where all the action was last inning with 2 outs. And that's when the Phillies got everything going with 2 outs. Heverlo, 2-3, and that's a single for Larry Bowa. Split chance against a lefty. Switch hitter batting left is an S1. So Larry Bowa is 3 for 3 with a walk. He's reached base 3 times in a row now on singles, and he stole the last 2 bases, so he's going to be looking to steal again if he can get the jump. But he cannot get the jump this time, so he will have to stand pat. And that's going to bring up Gary Maddox. Heverlo, 1-3 is a walk chance, and he will walk Gary Maddox. So all of a sudden, 2-out trouble brewing itself again for the Giants. And coming up now is Mr. Wheels Luzinski. He's got 2 runners on base to try to drive in. 4-5, that's a possible error on a throw. 6-1 is a star or question mark 7 against a lefty. Up here against the right-handers, he needs 14 or less. He gets a 7, so that is a double. That is a double to left field. Boy, that's terrible. A double to left field. I'm trying to remember what the first roll was. Was it an error check? Now I'm getting confused. I'm trying to remember what the first roll was. I don't think it was I thought it was an error check. If it's an error check to left field, Matthew, that would be an error if it wasn't. Error on a throw. Okay, so there would be a throw necessary. Thank you, RJL. Since it is a double, and the double goes to left field, it's a double. So that means the runner second's going to score automatically. The runner on first is rounding third and has a chance to score. The double to left is a -1. Maddox is your runner. He runs at a 4 with 2 outs. He's a 5. -1 is a 4. But it's going to be a throwing error because Gary Matthews, a left fielder, is an 8 error rating, and that's a 7. Oh, actually, no, we got to re-roll that because we use a 7 here. My bad. So he's an 8. He needs a 7 or anything odd with a 7 or less to make an error. It's even, so it will not be an error. Or is that only for fly balls, RJL? I'm thinking with the even number, it's not an error, right? Or is that only for flyouts? Because that would be an error on a throw because he has an E8. So it's only for fly balls. So that is an error then. He does chuck an error, and that will mean the runner will score, and the runner on second will take third on the throw, on the error on the throw. So Luzinski doubles to left. Boa scores from second. Maddox will score from third, and Luzinski will take third on the E7. All right, so there you go. Luzinski does it again, and the Phillies put on 2 more runs. They get those runs right back. It's now 7-2, and Dick Allen, the batter. 3-5, and that is a strikeout chance. 7 got him, so that's going to end the inning. But Hevelo is going to go 1 inning and give up 2 runs, so not very productive for him. And Greg Luzinski, and again, it was all happening with 2 outs and nobody on. A single by Boa, a walk to Maddox, and a double to Luzinski, coupled with a throwing error from Gary Matthews, and that's what you got. So for the Phillies, they pick up 2 runs. They do it on 2 hits and an error, and they leave 1 on base. So at the end of 6, it's 7-2. Favor of the Phillies. Carlton is back out. He can face 29 batters. He's only faced, like I said, he only faced 23 so far. So he's still in good shape. Bruce Miller, rather, is your batter. Now we're in the part of the order. We're in the 7th inning, so if I feel like we need to make some pinch hitting for some of these guys, I will do so. But right now, Miller's going to hit 5-3 blank to Carlton. So we go to Miller. 5-5. It's a single past third base. So Bruce Miller, a leadoff single. Again, strategy rolls are off. And Mike Sadek is your batter. He's 0 for 2. 236 hitter, but the backup catcher, Mark Hill, is not much better. So, although Dave Rader is pretty good, but he's a lefty, so try to kind of keep it realistic if possible. So we're going to let Sadek hit. Although he's got a 5 double play rating. Boy, we're going to take him out. He's too big of a chance to hit into a double play. So we are going to pinch hit for Sadek. And we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go against the grain and use Dave Rader. He is rated for splits. So I'll leave him in there, although he's nowhere near as good against lefties, but he does have a 291 average. You know what? No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're going to go to the other catcher, Dave Rader. We're going to not Dave Rader, Mark Hill, my bad. He's got less of a chance of a double play grounder. So Mark Hill will come in for Sadek. Hill will hit for Sadek. And he's pretty good defensively as well. But he has a less chance of hitting into a double play. Carlton. 1-6 is a blank. We go to Mark Hill. 4-1, single to left field. So Mark Hill gets himself a pinch hit single. How about that? A pinch hit single from Mark Hill. And on a single to left, it's a -1 to try to advance. Miller only runs at a 2, so that'd be a 1. He'd have to have a 1 to get there. And he does not, so he holds up. So first and second with nobody out. Craig Robinson, the schedule here, is an 065 hitter. He obviously is going to be lifted for a pinch hitter. And now we need somebody that's going to be able to play shortstop as well. Let's see. That's the other thing. You got to make sure you have somebody who can play shortstop. If they don't, then they're stuck with it. Well, they could move Miller to short, but then you need somebody to play third. And I've already pinch hit Ontiveros, so they may not have another third baseman. They do not. So I'm going to have to let Craig Robinson's going to have to hit. There's just no other way around it. He's going to have to hit, unfortunately, for the Giants. Carlton, 5-5 is a walk chance, and he walks him. How about that? So Craig Robinson draws the walk. The bases are now loaded, and we got a pitch hitter coming up for the pitcher. Pinch hitter coming up for the Giants, and it's going to be, boy, they're kind of running down. The right-handed hitters are not very good. But if you're playing the percentages like a manager would, you would think that they would go to a pinch hitter that's right-handed. So they're going to Jake Brown off the bench. Other guys have higher averages, but they're left-handed, so I'm going to try to play it as close to realistic as I think they would. So Brown is your pinch hitter, and the Giants are going to try to see what Brown can do for them. The bases are loaded with nobody out. And Carlton's struggling. The bullpen is going for the Phillies. He could face 29 batters. This is batter number 27 right now. Yes, Spire is not on the roster at this point. So Carlton to Brown. Infield is back. They need back for double play. They need outs. 5-5 is another walk. That's a 5. He will walk in a run. So Jake Brown, the pinch hitter, walks in a run. And Carlton has just lost all sense of the strike zone. And he may not make it past this inning because now comes batter number 28. And that's Vaughn Joshua. I think to let him pitch to Joshua, and that's going to be his last batter most likely. Right-handed action in the Philly bullpen as, let's see who they got in the bullpen to go. Ron Schuler, a right-hander, and actually it's going to be Gene Garber, a right-hander, loosening the pen. Gene Garber would be coming in. Carlton, 5-2 range play. The infield is back for the double play, or a double play depth, so they lose one on their range. 6-3, it is a ground ball to short. Boa, his range at shortstop is only a 2, but at halfway makes him a 1. So this has to be a 1 or it's going to get by for a base hit. It is a 1. He makes the play, believe it or not. That's incredible. Now is it a double play? Joshua's a 1, 0. They were halfway, makes it a 2. The pivot cash at second base is a 0. So a 1 to 2 is a double play. Nope, it's going to be force out at second base. So they got the force play. Run scores. It's going to go 6-4 on the fielder's choice. Scoring is Hill. Taking third is Robinson, and out is Brown at second base for out number 1. But the run scores, it is now 7-4, and that's going to be it for Carlton. His day is done. 7-4, and they're going to the bullpen. And actually, it's not going to be Garber. They're going to a lefty rather than a righty. They have changed their mind once again. They're going to Tom Hilgendorf, a lefty out of the pen. Because you got switch and lefties coming up, so they're going to go with Hilgendorf, playing the percentages. So Hilgendorf is on for Carlton. Carlton can win it. He can't lose it. He has given up 4 runs, but the 2 runs on base are his responsibility as well. So we can't close the book on him just yet. And it's going to be Darryl Thomas, the switch hitter, will turn around and, well, he's going to still bat right-handed because it's still a lefty in there. Hilgendorf, 5-2 ballpark card, going to the ballpark, Veterans Stadium. 5-3, it's a star 2, which is a ground ball to second. Possible double play. He's a 1, but he's a -1. They are halfway, makes it a 1 again. And the pivot at short, Boa, is a 0. So it has to be a 1 for a double play. It is not. It's going to be a 3. And let's see, Joshua runs at a 3, so he is out. So they get the force. The run does score. They get the force out. For out number 2, it's going to go 4-6 on a fielder's choice to retire Joshua. But Robinson will score. 3 runs in the inning. It's now 7-5. Tying runs coming to the plate, and Bobby Mercer. So Carlton sweating it out, trying to, and now strategy rolls are actually back on, with the score being what it is. Thomas, his attempt is a 5. -2 from Hilgendorf is a 3. So not going to get a jump. So we'll stay with Mercer. Yes, Josh, he was 3 on the card, and being held makes him a 2, so that's why he was out at second base. But yes, Joshua on the card, his BR is a 3. BR is a 3. I didn't mention it, but I kind of baked it into what I was referring to. So because he was held at first base, that's why I did the -1. All right, so Hilgendorf now to Mercer. 2-6 double question mark pitcher result. 1-2 was a single. That's a 9, so nothing happening. Mercer will swing. 6-4. He's going to line it to short. That is going to end the inning. Don't need to worry about double play check because that was the third out. But the Giants put a 3 spot on the board here in the top of the 7th. And we go to the 7th inning stretch with the score 7-5. For the Giants, they got 3 runs. They do it on just 2 hits. There were also 2 walks involved. No errors and 1 left. So 7-5 ball game. And let's see who's coming up here for the Phillies. Heverlo has faced 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Well, Heverlo got pinch hit for, so he's out of there anyway. So we need a new pitcher for the Giants. And let's see who they're going to go to here. They got Johnstone, Schmidt, and McCarver. 2 out of 3 are left-handed. So do they want to use one of their lefties out of the pen? Question. They will. They're going to Gary Lavelle out of the pen. So Gary Lavelle is coming on. And since Johnstone is the first hitter up, he will be lifted for a pinch hitter. We will not let Mr. Cookie Cutter face a lefty with no penalty. So he will have to leave. And who's going to pinch hit? On the bench for the Phillies, they have Anderson, Boone, Brown, Harmon, all right-handers. So downtown Ollie Brown will come in and pinch hit for Jay Johnstone. And he'll stand the game to play right field as well. So downtown Ollie Brown going to get the call to pinch hit for the Phillies. All right, Lavelle in there to Brown. Giants back in this game 7-5. I didn't even stretch. I was so into this, I just kept going, which is fine. 6-5. Nothing happening. Here's Brown. 1-4. It's a star 6, which is a ground ball to third, and Miller makes the play. So downtown Ollie Brown fails in the pinch, but he will stay in the game to play right field. And Mr. Schmidt steps to the plate. Four, 4, and that's at the ballpark again. We'll go to Veterans Stadium for Schmidt. 2-4. That's a single plus to left field. So Schmidt will have to try to make third base, or second base rather. He runs at a 3. It went to left field. Matthews is a 0 arm. So 1-3, he makes it. He does. It turns into a double for Mike Schmidt. So a 1-out double for Schmidt. And now McCarver is being called back because since Carlton's not in the game anymore, there's no need to have McCarver in there because he's the personal catcher and he's not catching anymore for Mr. Carlton. So they will bring in another batter to hit. And it will be Tony Taylor. And then Bob Boone will come in and catch, but they're going to use Tony Taylor. Actually, you know what? Boone's got a better average, so we're going to use Bob Boone. How about that? Save a player. So Bob Boone is going to come in, and he'll be the new catcher. And Brown is the new right fielder. So Boone is in, and Schmitty is out. And Hilgendorf is on deck, so they'll be pinch hitting for him as well. But first things first, we need Bob Boone. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Lavelle to Boone, 1-6, ballpark card again. Veterans Stadium. 2-2, it's a star 1, ground ball to second. That'll get the, I'm sorry. 2-2 is a, star 1, okay. So he goes to second base, which is a ground out there. Boone gets the runner to third, but that's small consequence with now being 2 outs. But Boone is the new catcher, and he's better defensively than McCarver. And now we need a pinch hitter for the Phillies to pinch hit for Hilgendorf, because an RBI here would really help their cause. So let's go to the bench for the Phillies and see who they want to bring in. They're going to bring in Mike Anderson. He's the highest average of anybody on the bench that's right-handed. So Mike Anderson is on to pinch hit. And the Giants, like Lavelle, they're going to leave him in there. Despite being facing the righty, they're going to leave him in there. Brown's arm is a +1. Johnstone's arm was a -1. So they do lose something defensively. But we could always use Mike Anderson and say put him in right field if need be. But we'll see. Right now Anderson's going to swing away. Well, first we do strategy roll. Nothing happening. Lavelle to Anderson. 2-3 is a pitcher result. 1-3 is a single, but that's a 4, so does not get the hit. So we go to Anderson. 2-5, and he does get the hit here against the lefty. The split chance comes into play. Single pass third, RBI single for Mike Anderson, and that is a huge run for the Phillies to put across, and that bumps them up now to an 8-5 lead. 8-5 lead. Now strategy rolls are back off again. Here comes Cash against Lavelle. Lavelle can face 6 batters. Right now he's faced 4. They're going to leave him in there. Strategy rolls are off. 4-5, and that is a strikeout chance. 15 is too high. We go to Cash. 1-6 is a question mark. 9 to a lefty goes to 12, but that's a 16. So it's a fly to right to end the inning. But the Phillies do pick up another insurance run and take an 8-5 lead. And actually, Anderson will stay in the game to play right field, not Brown. So the pitcher's going to hit in Johnstone's spot. So the pitcher will actually hit in this spot right here. There's your pitcher spot. This is right field now with Anderson, because you want that good defender with the -1 arm, with the lead. So that's what we shall do. So Ollie Brown not going to stay in the game. It'll be Mike Anderson staying in the game. And Anderson will just bat in the number 9 spot as a pinch hit. The pitcher is now in the 6th spot behind Dick Allen. And we need a new pitcher for the Phillies in this 8-5 game. And it will be Gene Garber. So Gene Garber is on to be the new pitcher. In that inning for the Phillies, they got a run on 2 hits and no errors and 1 left. So we go to the 8th in an 8-5 game. Hilgendorf pitched 2/3 of an inning. Carlton pitched 6 1/3. So Hilgendorf gave up nothing. Carlton gave up 4 hits and 5 runs. But he walked quite a bit. Carlton did. Really started in the 6th inning, but he had 1 walk in the 4th, and then in the 6th inning he walked 3. I gave him 4 total walks, 6 total walks. So he walked 6 in 6 and a third. That's what got him, was those 6 walks. He only struck out 2. All right, so coming out for the Phillies to pitch is Gene Garber, and he'll be facing Matthews, Montanez, and Miller for the Giants in an 8-5 game in the top of the 8th. Garber to Matthews, 5-4. That's a strikeout chance, and he got him. So the Sarge struck him out. Here's Montanez, but now with the righty in there, the lefty's off the bench for the Giants will now start to come into play. Garber, 1-4, ballpark card, going to Veterans Stadium. 1-6, that's a double to left field for Willie Montanez. He cracks a double. Strategy rolls are off, so there's no strategy roll to worry about coming up, but Bruce Miller will swing away. Singleton scored his last time up. Garber, 1-2 is a blank. We go to Miller. 4-4, it's a ground ball to short for out number 2. Question is, can Montanez take third base? He runs at a 2, so not likely. It's a 1, though, so he will move up. How about that? He will actually take third on the play. 2 down for Sadek. I'm sorry, for Mark Hill, but he will come back. Dave Rader will pinch hit. He is the 3rd catcher on the roster. So now Rader will be the new catcher. He will pinch hit and be the new catcher. So Doug Rader. It's Rader time. Chance for the Giants to try to get that run back, if nothing else. Garber to Rader with 2 outs and a runner at third. 2-5, strikeout chance, and he got him. So Rader out on strikes. But he will stay in the game to play, to be the catcher going forward. So Garber did his job. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th, still 8-5. Favor of the Phillies. And I think that's all for Lavelle. He will be lifted. Phillies have Boa, Maddox, and Luzinski, so they're looking for a right-hander. And now we will get Charlie Williams. He never came in the first time, but he's coming in now. So Charlie Williams is on. Lavelle went 1 inning, gave up 2 hits and a run. Heberlo went 1 inning, gave up 2 hits and 2 runs. All right, so we got Boa, Maddox, and Luzinski. Bottom of the 8th, Phillies lead it by the score of 8-5. Here in the bottom of the 8th, looking for any insurance they can find. Williams, 2-3, possible error on the throw. We'll go to Boa. 2-6, it is a star 2. Ground ball to third. That's a 5, so that's very likely going to be an error. Bruce Miller's error rating at third is a 10, so it will be a throwing error. Now the question is, can Montanez prevent it from getting past him? Montanez's range is a 3. So he can't stop it. So now we're checking the base running rating of Boa, 1-4. And Boa is going to make second base on the throw. Hopefully that was done right there, RJL. The throwing error failed. The range check at first base failed. And the BR rating of Boa is 4, same as the die. I don't know if that's to be greater than or the same to make it. But hopefully I did that correctly. So it's going to go down as a 2-base error in E5 on Miller. Yes, okay, I did it correctly. And there's Mr. Beatles. How are you doing there, Mr. Beatles, eternally? I know you can't see your Beatles, but Tabby says, love, love me do. That counts. All right, so here comes Gary Maddox. We already had one feline delay already, so hopefully no more. Williams, 6-6 range play at the ballpark. Go to Veterans Stadium. 3-3, and that is a home run to center field. That's a 14. He's a 4, so no home run, but it is a range play in center field. Center fielder range is Von Joshua. His range is a 3. If it's a failed range play, it becomes a double. It is a double, so Gary Maddox doubles on the failed range play. Scoring is Boa. It's an unearned run because of the error. But the Phillies now lead at 9, Dolly Parton style, 9-5. Counts twice because of the, there you go, because of Tabby, right? All right, here's the bull, Greg Luzinski. 4-2, that's a blank. We go to Luzinski's card. 3-1, and that is a liner to first for out number 1, possible double play. With the runner on second and the ball lined to first base, we need a 5 for a double play. Anything other than a 5, he gets back. It's 4, he gets back. Okay. So he stays put. And here comes Dick Allen. Had a big 3-run homer in the 5th inning, or 6th inning rather, 5th inning rather, to give the Phillies what at the time was a 5-0 lead. Williams, 6-2 range play. Dickie Allen. 5-3 is a ground ball back to Williams. He's a 5 range, so he should make this play. And he does for out number 2. Now, can Maddox take third base on a ground ball to the pitcher? BR rating of Maddox is a 4. So if this is higher than a 4, he will have to stay put. It is not, so he will make third base. So Maddox takes third on the grounder. But now there are 2 outs for Mike for the pitcher spot. We are at the pitcher spot because we did that. We did the double switch, putting Anderson in right field in the pitcher spot here. So we'll need a pinch hitter for the Phillies. And since the righty is on the mound, they will look into a left-hander. And they will be looking to Mr. Johnny Oates. He's got the highest average of anybody on the bench remaining. So Johnny Oates will be the pinch hitter with a runner at second. Runner at third and 2 down. Williams, 5-5 walk plus, and Johnny Oates will draw the walk. Not exactly what they wanted, because now they got to deal with Mike Schmidt. Probably not what Williams was looking forward to. Of course, the error on the third baseman kept the inning going, so they should have been out of the inning already. 2-3 is a possible error on a throw, so another possible error. Schmidt, 2-1, ground ball to third. That's a 10, and I believe he's okay on this one. No, he's not. Miller is exactly a 10, so it will be the second error of the inning on Bruce Miller. It's a throwing error. Run scores. Runner on first. Going to be looking to get to third. So let's see. The first baseman, Montañez. The receiver on this is a 3 range. So he is able to block it and keep it to a 1-base advancement. But it is going to be an E5. Run will score. Maddox comes across the plate. It's now 10-5 Phillies. And Bob Boone, the batter. Game getting out of hand here at the end. 5-5 from Williams is a walk plus. It's going to load the bases. So the Phillies with the bases loaded. And that'll bring up Mike Anderson. He's the number 9 hitter. He came in on that double switch because they wanted a good outfielder with a good arm, rather. So let's check Williams. He can face 8 batters. This is his 8th batter. So he'll be tired after this. 6-3, that's a wild pitch. That's an 11. It will be a wild pitch. That'll score a run. As crossing the plate is the pinch hitter, Johnny Oates. He will score on the wild pitch. And everybody else will move up a base. So now 3 runs are in the inning. It's now 11-5. Williams, 2-6 ballpark card going to Veterans Stadium. 2-4, and it's a single plus to left field, so both runners will score. Mike Anderson now with a chance to move up. He's a 3. Matthews' arm rating's a 0. 1-3, he makes it for a double. He does not. He will have to hold at first base, but it's a 2-run single from Mike Anderson. And this game is completely out of hand. Cash, the 9th batter in the inning. Charlie Williams is now tired. So they're going to go to the mayor, Tom Bradley. He'll be in to try to get this final out, as Williams was a disaster. Although, again, 2 errors in the inning, so not all of it is his fault. A very sloppy inning for the Giants. They scored 3 runs to get the game close in the 7th, and then they just kind of lost it here in the 8th. Bradley to Cash, 2-3, and that's a walk chance, 15 too high. We go to Cash. 4-2, that's a single pass shortstop. So the hits keep coming for the Phillies. Single pass short to get from first to third on an S6, you need a 5 or better as a run rating. Anderson runs at a 3, 2 outs makes him a 4, so he's still 1 short. But now the Phillies have batted around as Larry Boa is up again. He led off the inning by reaching on an error by the third baseman. So Larry Boa will bat the 2nd time this inning, as they can't get that elusive out. Bradley, 6-4, and that is a home run chance. Right here against the switch hitter batting left, it's a home run chance. That's a 1, though, so no home run, but Boa will swing. 5-6, he's going to pop it up to the pitcher to finally end the inning. So all of that in place. 2 errors. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 hits. So they end up with 5 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left. So now 11-5. And I think RJL said the historical score was 11-4. So we're pretty close now. Of course, I'm not sure the Giants were expecting to get that far or to make it happen that particular way, but it did. And now we're going to the bullpen for the Phillies as they pinch hit for Garber. So coming in for the Phillies, it really, in a score of a score being what it is, 11-5. I don't think it really matters. Let's see here. It was 11-5. 5 runs, so that's more than 11-5, right? That's I believe 13-5 now. It's a score 13-5. My bad. It's 13-5. I forgot about those last 2 runs that scored there. 13-5. So obviously not a save situation. So they will bring on Ron Schuler just to kind of mop up. Schuler will be facing Robinson, but they will pinch hit for Robinson, obviously. And then they'll have the pitcher spot. So we need back-to-back pinch hitters, and they will be Glenn Adams and Gary Thomason. So Adams will lead off, and then Thomason will pinch hit after him. So Adams will pinch hit here in the top of the 9th. They don't have anybody to play shortstop, but they don't care because of the score. They know they're not going to get to a bottom of the 9th, so, and if they have to, they'll put Tabby at short. If they score 8 runs, then I'll eat my words. I know anything can happen in an inside pitch, but I don't see an 8-run 9th coming up. All right, Schuler to Adams, 3-5. Pitcher result, and that's a single, 1-20, so it's a 20 there, but all they needed was a 1-20, and Glenn Adams gets a base hit. So Adams is aboard, and here comes the pinch hitter for the pitcher, Gary Thomason. So that's it for the Giants. They've used the entire bench. They had nobody left on the bench. And the only guys in the bullpen are Moffitt and Caldwell, so they pretty much used everybody. Schuler, 5-2, blank to a lefty. Thomason, 3-1, star 3 is a ground ball to third, possible double play. He's a 0, -1 there. So +1 for the double play depth, so That makes him a 0. The pivot at second, Cash, is a 0. So we got a rating of 0, so I believe the only thing we're checking is to see if it's a force play or not. And the runner at first, Adams, runs at a 2. So it is a 2. He was a 1 being held on, so that is going to be a force play at second base. It'll go 5-4. And Joshua will come up to step to the plate with 1 out. Schuler, 6-1, strikeout chance, got him. He's a 7, but that's a +3 for a 10. That's a 9. So Joshua, because of Veteran Stadium, will strike out. 2 down, last chance is Daryl Thomas. Schuler to Thomas, 6-5, strikeout chance, 11. Not going to get him. He's a 7, +3 is a 10, but that's an 11, so not going to get him. Thomas will swing, 6-4. He's going to double to left field. So that's a double to left for Thomas. Probably should play station to station safe, but I'm just going to let it go, I guess. Double to left against the Phillies is a 0. When all is said and done, it's a 0. So let's check the run rating of Thomason. He runs at a 3. With 2 outs, it becomes a 4. So 1-4, he will score. He does not, so he has to hold at third base. So runners are at second and third thanks to the double from Daryl Thomas. And that'll bring up Bobby Mercer, last chance against Schuler. 5-1, strikeout chance, but 20 is too high. The Phillies really do not want to go to the bullpen again. They want Schuler to finish this thing off. 5-2, and he does. It's a star 6 fly to center. Maddox puts it away, and the ball game is over. 13-5 is your final. Phillies win it, but it was tight. It was 7-5 at one time, but then 6 unanswered runs took care of that. In the ninth for the Giants, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. So we'll figure out runs, hits, errors, left on base, that sort of thing, as we move everything over a little bit. A little chart, we'll move this over, get everything off of here. Let's see what we got here for runs. We have 13-5. Phillies made no errors. Giants, I believe, made 3 errors. Yes, they did. 3 errors. All right, hits for the Giants. Let's see here. For the Giants, how many hits do they have? I've got them for 7 hits. So 5, 7, and 3. For the Phillies, they had 3, 5, 8, 10, 15 hits. So what I have unofficially, Phillies win it 13-5. 13 runs, 15 hits, no errors for the Phillies. 5 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors for the Giants. Winning pitcher Steve Carlton. Losing pitcher is the Count, John Montefusco. Player of the game, boy, you could opt for several people in that. Larry Boa reached base 4 times, plus had a sacrifice hit. Scored 3 runs, stole 2 bases. So he certainly was a thorn in their side. Schmitty had a single and a double, scored 2 runs. Dick Allen had a 3-run homer, but that's all he had was 1 for 5. So there's a lot of different guys there you could pick. I guess I'm going to go Larry Boa because the pitching was not that great. I mean, Carlton did okay, but nothing to write home about. So we're going to give Larry Boa the player of the game. Little Larry Boa is your player of the game for the Phillies, as they win it by the score of 13-5, and they pull a half game ahead of Pittsburgh, depending on what Pittsburgh does in their game today. Giants will now drop 8.5 behind the Reds, depending on what the Reds do. Pitchers replay stats, inside pitch. 15-6. That's what I had on mine, apparently, is what you're saying. I've still got mine up on my Excel sheet. So let's see what Fidrich did on my Excel sheet here. Let's get what I did with him. Fidrich replay, I kept the stats on my Excel thing. So let's see here. Yeah, 17-6 with a 2.05 ERA is what I had. 17-6 and a 2.05 ERA. 241 and a third, 2/3 innings hits, 203 hits, 6 home runs, 47 walks, 88 strikeouts is what I had on that. So yeah, his was 21 and he was 21 and say he got a lot more wins, but his ERA was higher. Must have had some good. Oh, thank you, DJ. Glad you were able to listen in. So yeah, they hit better for him in his replay than they did in the replay I did for Fidrich. And now Tabby has jumped up on the perch, and we'll try to keep her away from the festivities if possible. That's an if possible, so anything, anything could happen with that. So I don't know if I can do anything with this or not. Let's see. Sure don't lose the volume here. There she is. Tabby. What do you say, Tabby? What do you say there, Tabby Roo? There she is. She's making her appearance. It's a cat attack. There she is. So anyway, there's your final score. Yeah, see, that's another thing, Brian B. I think I might have played that under the old rules. So, it's very. I probably did play those under the 2.0 rules or whatever before these other rules came into play. So that's a very good point that could be the case. So anyway, final score 13-5, favor the Phillies. Don't forget to tune in to RJL. RJL, are you up to doing a recording tonight? I thought I saw you were going to do a recording, but if you're not feeling well, maybe you should rest. I don't know if you're up to doing a video tonight. Yep, he is streaming. Okay, so tune in tonight. Who's the? I'm trying to remember who the game was. I saw the Facebook thing, and now I forgot who it was. So he is streaming. So while we're figuring that out, we'll do more Tabby. Astros and Mariners. That's right. I remember that now. Astros and Mariners. There goes Tabby. Where are you going, Tabby? She seems rather disinterested now that the dice are not rolling, so I don't know. But there she is. You see all the junk I have on the other side of her, all the boxes and everything I have. So, but that's a little perch she uses to sit here right next to the table, so she can be there while I'm doing this. And if you want to get real weird, then I can show the stream on my computer. It's kind of a double thing there. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Anyway, so Tabby, say goodbye, Tabby. All right, Tabby says that's going to do it for today. And Tabby says, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And Tabby says she will see you all down the road.